Hello everyone, welcome to this lesson of Innovating with Brush in Illustrator. In this video, we will going to learn about the brushes panel library, and we will going to learn about user defined, and we will going to make our own brush and save it. We will going to explore the strokes, this width profile, and this brush definition, and what do they really mean in the brushes. We are going to use the brush to solve our everyday problem like making grasses or making a simple logo like this. We will going into some detail and explore the settings of the brushes so we can easily customize our brush for our own use. And we can also go into making the some more better looking brush like this. We will going to learn how to make these sorts of things in the Illustrator or something like this. We are also going to see how to make a logo like this or even like that. So join us and let's innovate with the brush in Illustrator. First of all, I'm going to open the two panel, that is appearance panel and brush panel. So I just go to my window menu, open my appearance panel, shift F6 and open my brush panel, F5. And let's take a shape and draw over here. So basically we know that every shape we are going to draw has a white fill and black stroke. So it's by default, and also it's going to have 1 point stroke, uniform width profile and basic brush applied to it. So if we need to change a brush, we can change it from here or from the brushes panel. So let's try this brush and you can see the brushes have been changed. So I just zoom in a little bit by holding the control and the space bar key to temporarily activate my zoom tool and zoom in. And I'm going to use the stroke weight to increase or decrease the size of my brush. Let's see, 0.5, and let's make a 2 point. So we can see the stroke is used to determine how thick or how thin our brush. So one thing you need to know that brush will be going to apply in the stroke. So if I just off my stroke by clicking the none, I am not getting my brush, and this stroke will going to define how thick or thin our brush will going to look. So let's start by making our own brush. So I just take the rectangle tool to make my brush. You can use almost any shape to make your brush, but it has some restrictions. So I'm going to talk about after creating my brush, and I'm holding my alt key, and you can see the single black arrow has changed into the double arrow, means we are going to copy a shape, and holding the shift key to restrict the movement and place it like this. And let's make another copy by holding the alt key and holding the shift key like this. I'm going to select all and off my stroke because I don't need a stroke in my brush. And let's change the color of this brush. So I've selected this and let's make it the red color like that. Let's select the second shape and make it like this, less bright red. Select the third and let's make it even more less bright like this. Click OK. And to make a brush, just select the shape and drag it into your brush panel. Select the art brush as your brush type and click OK. I'm not going to do right now any of the settings, just click OK to make your art brush. So select a shape, let's say ellipse, draw it, and let's apply the brush here. I will going to make my fill none so you can better see the brush. Let's make a copy of it holding down the alt key. So now we know what the stroke is actually doing to our brush. Let's focus on this uniform width profile. So what this uniform width profile, it's telling the width of my brush everywhere is just the 1 point. If I just going to change, so you can see the stroke will going to be vary, it's not always the same. And we can choose like this, or let's say like this. Let's choose another one, and look at this, it look great, it look like a logo. You can use it if you need. Okay, so that's what a uniform width profile is actually doing to our brush. So right now you have seen that we can make a brush with using the more than one shape even. So Let's try to focus on what are the restrictions of the brushes. So if I just select this shape and fill it with a gradient and try to make a brush out of it, any brush you can make it, let's say art brush. So you will get a warning that the selected artwork contains an element that cannot be used in an art brush. So that element here is this gradient. Okay, so select the second one and let's try to put a mesh tool here and let's try to make a brush out of it. Select the art brush or whatever the brush you want, let's say this for. So right now the content is this mesh object. If you need, you can make your brush opacity low like 50% and make your brush. So now we are going to focus on this hard brush which we have actually seen our preview. If I select this shape, you can see this brush is actually highlighted because this shape is using this brush. If I select this brush is highlighted because this shape is using this brush. We are going to make both of these brushes and I have already drawn a heart here and we will going to make. So first of all, I'm going to change the color of it. Let's make a green color so we can better recognize that, and let's try to make it our brush. So this time we are going to use the scatter brush. Click OK and click OK. We have not done any of the settings right now, and so I'm going to use my brush tool to make a shape like that and try to make it like this. So we are getting some of the problems right now. The size of our this heart is actually bigger than this heart. So you know that we can use the stroke here. So let's try to reduce the point. Let's say 0.5 point. Too much low, 0.75. This look good. Secondly, every heart here pointing downward, but not the case here, neither here. So we can change it using the relative rotation. So just double click your brush, double click, and then use the rotation relative to page, and it has just two options, page and path. Select the path and click OK and apply to stroke. So you can see the rotation has been applied like our these two brushes. So second problem is we need to adjust the spacing of it. So we are going to use the spacing. Just double click here and use the spacing option. So I've just selected, use the upper key to increase your spacing and use the lower key to decrease your spacing. So I find that's look good. Click OK. If we select the leaf stroke, the setting will not going to be applied, as you can see here. So let's try to do it again and click the apply to stroke. The third thing is we need to change the color of it. So we will going to change our color of this heart. So use the stroke here and let's try to make it a pink heart like this. Click OK. But you can see the stroke color has been changed, but it has not applied to a heart because we have not checked our colorization option. So just double click it. You can see the colorization here. The method here is none. We can just select the hue shift. This will going to adopt the color of the stroke. So if we want to change it, let's say to yellow, we can change it and it will going to immediately adopt that color. So for this example we need the two hearts. So let's try to make a two heart. So I just copy this heart here like this, holding my alt and shift key, and let's try to change the color of the second heart to, let's say, the blue, and drag in the brushes panel to make the brush. Drag it, make it a scatter brush, click OK and click OK, and we will going to make a shape. Taking my brush tool to make the shape like that. So it's looking very weird right now. So we are going to make some of the changes. Rotation relative to, we need path of colorization, like say hue shift. Let's increase the spacing a bit. That's look good, and we can adjust the size from here, and we are done. Apply to strokes. So if I just want to make a color of it, so it's not getting applied here. So the option is you need to use this recolor artwork feature. So just click it. We will going to make this green color into, let's say, the white color, and make it white, and we will going to make this blue color into the pink color, and we are done. Just click OK and we are done. So now we are going to make this flower circle. So I've already drawn a flower here. Look at this. Okay, it's a very easy flower. I've just used the shape and rotate it like this. Take a white circle again here, put it over here, and take a blue circle and put it at the top of it. And for the second thing, I have just changed the color of, so I'm going to select all this and make it a blue color like this, and select this one and make it a white color. And I've just selected both of them, drag it over here and make it a scatter brush, and you can use whatever the settings you like to do. Click OK. So I've drawn this, and we will going to apply our brush to our stroke, and we need to adjust some settings. Let's try to do that. Size, it need to be really smaller like that. Rotation relative to path. Spacing, we need to reduce the spacing of it, so more flower fit into this circle, and like that. It's very easy. And apply to stroke. And now we are going to make hope for peace logo. So for that, and just take a line segment tool, draw it like this. Let's make a stroke much more thicker, and we are going to use our width profile like this, so we can easily get a leaf shape. I'm going to lower the stroke till it get look good. Okay, now going to the object, expand appearance, so we can better select it. Just take it and just rotate it a little bit like this, and we need to copy it and we need to reflect it. So use the vertical option should be on, and on the preview click OK, and we are done. So it's look like this. We need to just copy it, holding down my alt key to copy the shape, and one shape for this. Just rotate it a little bit. So for this time you don't need to make a scatter brush. Click the art brush, click OK and click OK. Let's make a shape and delete the point that we don't need. Delete this, delete this. We don't need even a fill. Now going to apply it to this, and to make it complete like that, you can use the reflect tool. Just double click it, reflect, copy, OK, and put it over here, and you can put a little circle over there. Okay, now we are going to make the grass. So grass is also very easy. Just make a line and increase the stroke of it. Again we are going to use that width profile like this. The grass used to look like that only. You just going to drag over here, select the art brush, click OK and click OK again, and use your brush tool to make it like this. So if you need to transfer your brush to the another document, just select your brush and drag it into the document which you want like this, and that brush will going to be appear, and you can apply that brush to anything you want. And if you need to save your brushes, just go to the brush library, and we are going to talk about the brush library. Just click the save brushes and give it a name, click save, and we can open it into any document. Click go here, user defined, innovate, and we can see all that brushes appear here. And I find the best way to talk about the library is to show you my version of the Snapdeal logo. So this has been made from the menu of the library brushes, and as you can see here, if I just going to select this shape, this particular brush is highlighted. If I'm going to select this shape, this particular brush is highlighted, and I've accessed all this brush from brush library, artistic and artistic chalk, charcoal, pencil. And you can see there's a lots of the brushes. You can also use many other brush like all this. And this is the bristle brush library which I have used in my Olympics. I've just taken this, and you can look over here, this is a bristle brush library, and I've just modified some of the settings here to make this thing. And this is the another brush, and this Rio thing has been made from a calligraphic brush. So with this far we have talked about the scatter brush and art brush, and we are going to talk about the calligraphic brush, bristle brush and pattern brush in another video. If you need, you can make it from the bristle brush library. And the last thing I just want to show you is from where you can download your brushes for free. So you can download your own brush from the creativeblog.com, and you can see there is lots of brushes, and from spoongraphics.com. I've actually downloaded this brush and I'm going to show you. And look at this brush, this looks so amazing. And this brush, I'm going to tell you, it was made from another software called Artrage. Let's search for it. Google Artrage. So we get that Artrage. So Artrage is a software which help us to make the brush like that. Okay. Many of the things I found, if you're going to search for the lace ribbon, you will get this shape like this, and you can be inspired from them and try to make your own brushes. Like, let's look for the clip art. So look at this, how beautiful they are going to look. And I'm going to tell you about even this sort of brushes, how to make these brushes in the upcoming videos. And this is just the olive leaf logo and the cartoon grass, which you know how to make it right now. So now the time for the conclusion. Every stroke has a basic brush applied to it. You can see this as a basic brush. Use the stroke size to determine the size of your brush. You can use it like this. Use variable width profile, which you can access from here. The brush, don't use the gradient or mesh, but I'm going to show you how you can make a colorful brush. And you can download and save your brush. Like, the saving is very easy. Just go here and save your brush, and you can access it into your another document, and you can download your brush and use the brush library. There are lots of the brushes in the libraries. Try to use that. Colorization method, if you just double click it, you will get a discolorization method, or you can use the recolor artwork. So you just, if you want to use it, just draw any shape and use this little recolor artwork icon. Okay, it's just very little icon, and double click it and change it to any color you want it. Click OK. So this is the rope brush, and you can just draw it like this, and you can see this brush will be actually going to look like a rope. So that's all for now, and please send your artwork into my mail